Terrific. Hello, I'm Frank Goodyear, and I finished my PhD in the Department of American Studies from UT in 1998. And I currently live and work in Brunswick, Maine, where I serve as the co-director of the Bowdoin College Museum of Art. One of the reasons why I enjoy museum work so much is the opportunity to work with people. And so much of my day is involved in managing, working with people and the projects that they're engaged in. And so, one of the sort of skills that you have to nurture as a director at an art museum is the ability to sort of juggle many balls sort of at once. And so my typical day is really, it can be very exciting, but other parts can be really mundane. I can be involved in a conversation with the entire staff about anti-racism work. The next hour I might be on the phone with a artist with whom we're going to be doing a project or a program or an exhibition of some sort. I may be working with donors. I may be working with the design and production staff at the museum to install a new exhibition in our gallery. I may be dealing with mundane things like budgets and insurance and facilities questions. Every day there's something different, and I enjoy those wide differences, and I also enjoy very much thinking holistically about an organization and what needs to happen to make it run effectively. So when I think about the kinds of skills that I utilize each and every day, I think communicating verbally and in written expression, as there's nothing that could be more important than that. You are working with a team, and you've got to effectively communicate with those teams. You need to nurture relationships with those teams. And one of the things that I have found is that actually the people that you work with, they don't really care that you have a PhD and that you went to the University of Texas. They're more interested in, ways in which you can work together to advance the goals, the mission of the institution. So being a good team player, being able to work with all different kinds of people with different kinds of backgrounds and experiences, these are the things that are, I found, as important as anything. I will also, though, say that, if you've gone to graduate school and you've gotten a master's or a PhD, you have certain expertise. And I would encourage students to continue to sort of nurture that expertise. You haven't done all this education for nothing. Use that education that you have gotten, and if you have defined a particular area of specialization that you have a passion for, continue to focus your attention on doing the research, the writing, the programming related to that topic as best you can. So when I was building a CV in graduate school, I think one of the best pieces of advice that I received at the time was to be ambitious, to get beyond UT's campus, to attend conferences, to meet people, to participate, to be involved in the larger dialogue in your particular field, and begin to build a CV that reflects your interests in these particular topics. The first jobs that one gets, tend to be very entry-level positions. Nobody's going to hand you a tenure track teaching position at Stanford. That just doesn't happen. You build your CV incrementally by doing one thing well and moving on to the next thing. Um, for me, I think my success has been partly the result of continuing to sort of stay in the game, to get involved, to be willing to do something that I didn't necessarily expect. For me, I went from a desire initially to teach at the college level to all of a sudden taking a chance and applying for a job at the Smithsonian Institution. Actually end up getting that job, and all of a sudden transitioning to a different line of work. Um, but I think that I never would have gotten the job at the Smithsonian if I hadn't been involved in all these other things before I interviewed there. I remember when I was in the final years of my graduate program that my, graduate school friends and I would sort of sit around, and we would feel, I think, at certain times very anxious about whether there was a job for us. We were each studying our very sort of specialized topic, and was there going to be a job for us at the end of all this? There was a great deal of uncertainty. And one of the things now, looking back sort of 20 years later, I come to realize is that the world needs smart, energetic, ambitious people. We PhDs can do so many different things, and they can add such value to an organization. You are wanted. It's about getting your foot in the door, even if it is perhaps less of a position than you initially thought. Once you get into an organization and you're able to demonstrate the value that you provide, there is plenty of opportunities for promotion. And 20 years later, I'm now directing one of the leading liberal arts college museums in the country, and I would never have thought that, perhaps sitting around at Trudy's drinking margaritas 25 years ago.